Original, non-user driven design. Our original design was very fluid and we had very little boundaries. We believed that the DreamBox should be completely open world and there didn't have to be any set stories. The idea was that multiple users would interact with each other, influencing each other's stories. For instance, someone who had a game career as a police detective would have their evidence changed or removed by other players, be them criminals or other police officers. In terms of hardware, we had the idea of the re-emergence of the arcade-type experience, where coffin-like DreamBoxes would be set up in rows for people to use on a pay-per-play basis. Positives and negatives of our initial design. We felt that the initial design was fairly revolutionary, as it was completely open world. Unlike games before, the player could do whatever they wanted rather than having to follow a set storyline. However, at the same time, it would be difficult to implement this, as the game would have to be almost organic in the way it would have to be developed, with the very little amount of boundaries there would be. As a group, there was a belief that the idea of the arcade-based hardware would be a great way to rejuvenate a dying market, and that a pay-per-play system would be both most profitable and prevent over-addiction to the game. First stage user interaction, our class poster display. The initial response to our product was fairly positive, with people liking the idea of a completely open world and the idea of the gameplay. However, people were much less positive about the idea of arcade-style hardware. They felt that the game would be better played at home on some kind of portable device. Our feedback considered and our action taken. We decided that it was best for us to take on board the recommendations of the class and move away from the arcade idea and towards a more home-centered device. We came up with the idea that still remains as the final design of a head-worn device that puts the user in a dreamlike state to play the game. Second stage, questionnaire. After the class poster exposition, we looked into doing a questionnaire to get a wider view of the software from a non-computer based user. We got 122 questionnaires back. They mainly told us that the majority of people would prefer to have a product that had multiple storylines rather than the actual full open world design. However, they would like to explore the world on its own. People said that they would not abide by laws if they were built into the game, not unlike real life. However, the amount of people saying they wouldn't would take away from the spirit of the game. Our feedback considered and our action taken to the questionnaires. We took on board this feedback and felt that we should develop multiple storylines for users to take, and also decided that an introduction of laws within the game would lead to a better experience for all within the multiplayer environment. It was also of note to us at this stage that the wider audience people also preferred a home-based, portable device over the idea of an arcade coffin. Third stage user interaction, Full Expo. At the Full Expo, we brought a prototype for people to try out and also more questionnaires and posters to help people understand our product. Our prototype was a solid structure that went right around the face. The feedback that we got for it was that it was stronger than the overall coffin idea. However, people would prefer it if their face was clear, and this would make the product more comfortable to wear. In terms of the software, people liked the improved idea of having set storylines rather than complete free world. However, they were also warming towards the idea of being able to explore the free world alongside this. Explanation of the final product. The hardware for the final product consists of a helmet-like device with a clear visor that interacts with the user by putting them into a dreamlike state and influencing their brain function with the software. The software is a free world with varying career paths and set stories that the user can follow. We believe that the free world side of our game has to be strong in order for the game to be interesting once the user has completed the set storylines in place. The multitude of storylines that we intend to allow the user to choose from should allow for longevity and the user maintaining their interest for a long time before they move to the free world alternative.
I think people really enjoy the DreamBox for the social side of it as well. It's a bit different than texting, speaking online. You can meet up in this interactive world, play sports, just chill out, catch up with people. I think that's going to be a really big selling point in the DreamBox.
You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone.
I'm the prince of the DreamBox.